Just give me like a minute. Let me confirm if my stream has started, because I've eventually ended it, so I need to check. Okay, I think we're live, but it's using another name for me. So it's using this name. I'll just change it. So let's go ahead and continue. We want to focus on doing inner pages to see how we can transition from one page to another. Mind you, when you are doing inner pages, there's kind of a different transition. When you go to inner pages, your main menu will wipe off. Your main nav will wipe off. So we need to find a way to flex that. So first of all, let's see, are we done with this one? Let me check what's happening here. Set open card ID. Okay. I don't just like having red stuff there. Now we don't use open set card ID. We are not using this one. Okay, so let's go ahead. I will just leave it. You figure it out within your own code. Like I said, I prefer using fonts, using Bootstrap stuff, right? We know that we have stuff in. Okay, so these are Bootstrap. Let's move ahead and let's continue in the next thing we want to do. How do we do that? How do we navigate? Before we move on, let's push what we've done so far. Let's push what we've done. So we just do this to make sure that it does the right thing. And while it's doing its thing, I'm kind of thinking how I want to achieve that part there. So we do that, and then later we'll go and push. But let's see, how do we want to achieve the okay, let's take it step by step. So the first step is we making sure this one is clickable. Each of the item is clickable. And how do we do that? Is by wrapping it inside link. Wrap it inside link. We'll go to our work order, which is in the pages, and let me see how you did each of them. I think it's inside card. I guess the whole thing is to wrap this guy inside a giant link, which is gonna be crazy. So we have to import it. So the guy did not even know what to do. You're supposed to import it, you're doing nonsense. So let's say we make it go to so it goes to work order. So where are we here now? We're in work orders. So which I think it should be work order. This one will not be slash. Don't say work order slash ID. Okay, so let's see. How do we link to it? I want to link to it with the particular work order number, because that ID has to be what you are going to reference to be able to get the page that you want to get. So the ID will be whatever it is that the ID is, which is gonna be is it plus or and now? Benny, fix the error. My head now is blowing up. Okay, so it's supposed to be like this. Good. Now we have work order like so. But what that means is that I want to be able to remove. I'm thinking something. I don't want it to. Now, by the way, you don't necessarily need to use link. You can use on click on this to navigate to what we want to do. This is just a lazy man's way of doing it. So so let me just do it quickly. Use where's the guy? So we're just going to use on click event on the tab instead of doing it this one. This way it's not clean at all. So we're going to be using this guy, which is use navigate. And while we are doing that, we are also going to create the function which is here. So the function is going to be here, and the function is going to be called go to work order, and we're supposed to be able to pass the work order ID inside here. So that we can say okay, so that we can say where we need to use it here on click. So we can remove this, say go to work order. Okay. So first of all, I need to change the app route to I think we should maintain 1S. Should maintain 1S for now. Instead of saying work orders. And in the bottom we can maintain 1, and then in the work order, so I need to pass parameter. I need to pass parameter to this guy. Okay, I'll get to you later So this needs to come with this guy. So that the ID I'm passing is this guy. Then my proper definition should be number. Okay. Now that we've settled that, if I click, of course, it's just going to give me the number like so. That's the number for the ID, but the page does not exist. Now that's where we go to our route again and properly mention that we have something like that coming in. So if we go to our app, and you are going to do this for all these ones because they will have inner page technically. So the same thing we did here, we have to be able to replicate and repeat and do internally. Now I'm looking at a way to be able to express this, because you know that we're not going to have this bottom here. So we need to now have a work order layout. We need to have work order layout. This one is work order like so, which is working well. Then trying to think about it. I think we will need to do that two things, work orders, and then we need to do this one again, work order, so that we can then create a layout for this one. So we can now say work order layout, so that inside it, so don't let it confuse you. So we're reverting this one back to work orders, meaning go and display all the work orders available. Where else did we need it again? Yes, inside here, and yeah, display all the work order available. However, if you stumble on this, anything from here, use work order layout, which we've not defined yet, or let me say inner page layout, which we've not designed or we've not defined inner page layout. Then inside it, I'll use the same thing I use here to say no. Do I want to go that route? Okay. No, I don't want to use index. Do I need to use paths? Okay, let's test it out. So this is my first time trying this. I will now say this one here dot let's say ID, but internally now, which page am I rendering? I will say single work order. So what I'm trying to do is this. We already have this resolved. Now what I want to do is that whenever you have work order, give me layout, inner page layout, and if you now have /ID, give me single page layout. By the way, the single page layout is going to be inside inner page layout. That's what is happening here. What I'm trying to tell you to do here. That's what we did with this one. And that's why every other thing fits inside here. So if I want to do something crazy, and I don't need to put it inside this because this is not gonna work because we're inside here, but I'm gonna remove it later. But let me just go ahead and start creating this so it doesn't look so complex. Now, because this one is a layout kind of a thing, I can bring it outside. Inner page layout, I can bring it outside. TSX, and just copy what is here and I put it inside here. Say inner page layout, and for now I can just say outlet. It's not going to have bottom. It's not going to have any ID for now. I will just say here navigation div app header. So the header of the page that I'm in is going to show in there. That's the idea. Okay, I have this guy set up. I should be able to import it, which is there. Now the single work order page is going to be inside my page .cxs, and the idea is that I can't copy this page, is so big. I don't think we need sidebar anymore, so I'm deleting it. App header as well, I don't think we're needing anymore, I'm deleting it. Even template switcher, later on we'll look at it, but let's remove it for now. So let me look at one of the most basic components. We don't even have a basic component safe. So I'm gonna copy this one inside here and I'm gonna call it single work order page, and so here I'm just gonna say this is supposed to be a selected work order. That is the idea. Okay, let's see. Now let's import this guy. Whoa, import I say. Okay, everything is gonna go wrong at the same time. Let's try, let's see what happens. So if we go single work order, we don't have anything showing. Let me see. Single work order, inner page. I have it display something, but nothing is showing here. Okay. So let me now put slash something in the front. It's still not showing anything. Now let me check if we have, because I really did some funny business there. This guy, I'm not going to depend on. Work order is on, is not valid. Yes, I thought as much. So the path that we're giving it is not a good path. This one is not a good path. So most times you're supposed to do something like this. I thought as much when I was writing it, but that's good. So let's start from, you can see that the bottom is still there, but I have a way around it. Let's take it one step at a time. So if you do like this, app header shows, however, it's still bringing the bottom. Remember, we want to do it with the bottom. And the reason why it's doing the bottom is because we are still inside this one that defines the general layout. But guess what? If you go and say, oh, let me put one ID here, you can see that you are seeing the content of the app, but you are still seeing this major guy. So how do you get rid of this guy? Is by going away from this major route and defining another route outside, which is this guy. You need to take this guy away outside of this one and do something like this. So this one now is guided by this layout. Everything that is happening inside this place is guided by this layout. But if you find yourself outside and you went to go and do work order /ID, you'll be guided by another rules and regulation. And that rules is by this inner page layout. That's what is guiding us, inner page layout. So that's why you see that now it's working, right? So even if you go and do work order, you will notice that you won't see that inner tab, right? So anytime you find yourself on this page, so once you put ID, you will now see app header and then this. Now this is where you will now say, oh, you want to do a back button, you want to do the name of the app, and then you want to render the details. Let me show you what I mean by that, because we did show something like that. So which is something like this. We want to do a back button, and then that's the app header. Back button will contains both the name of the page and then the back button, while the notice at the bottom, it does not contain anything, so which we've also defined. It won't contain anything, but immediately you click back, it will take you to where you're coming from. So let's quickly do something like that. We already have inner page will now be used for so many things like that. So you can style, it means you can then do something like this, assets, and then this will be asset number or asset ID. Then inner page will remain. Then you can say single, oh, I say sign work order, single. You can then do single asset page, single asset page, which we need to create, but we can just do a dummy here. So if you find yourself like so, you end up with single assets, right? Okay. So let's go ahead and go to work order. If you click here, I expected to end up here. You go back to this, you click here. Oh, this guy is not going away. Whoa. Let me refresh the page and see what just happened. That's interesting. That's gonna be a drawback. So if you click here, better. It's supposed to go away, and then you're supposed to click back, and you click another one, it's supposed to go away. Yes. So, but this is not the back we're gonna use. We're gonna create our own back button. Now, there are several things we want to try, which I think it's better for easy development. I'm not going to add app header here. I'm going to put everything inside the outlet. I'm going to put everything inside the outlet to make it easy to manage. And the outlet is going to be the page we are designing, which is our single work order. So I'm going to put everything out here. So first of all, I can do this way we can now create components to handle that back button and title page and what have you. So I can just say, let me do a component. Let's quickly create a single page component. Inner page app header. So that's the title of this one. Let me see what's gonna cook up for me. Let's see what's gonna cook up for me. I hope it knows that it's using Bootstrap before you go and use a funny stuff for me. What is this? So okay, it's using React Native. Is it React Native? Because I'm seeing some Vue stuff. Okay, let me not see anything. Let me just import it. Do you see? It's using React Native. This guy does not even read the room at all. So use React and Bootstrap. React and it's going ahead to you because I can see Vue. Immediately I saw Vue and I like what the heaven is going on here. But because we told it it's an app header, so it knew what it was gunning for. Okay, so apparently it has done the needful, and I hope that it will work. Let's go ahead and continue. Let's go ahead and continue. What's going on here? We didn't use. I don't like using this guy, so I'll just tell it to use inline icon from Bootstrap icons. Okay, so I think that should fix it. Now let's move on and then see what else. Let's import this guy. So what are the props? The props we're adding Type2 to it. We come to, where do we need it? Single page. And how do we bring this guy in again? So the Type2 that we have here is work order. This one should be dynamic, but for now I'm just having it fixed. Okay, so let's check it out. Do you see, guys? Working perfectly. This is what I expect. This is it. This is the way it's supposed to be. Your app is coming up. So this is what we have. However, I'm not satisfied with the future, with what the design I'm seeing. I'm not satisfied with it. I really like what I see here. I like what I see here. You know, it should be fluid. This guy should be circle kind of, and this one should just be fluid. It's quite easy to implement. Just need to remove because I saw white background that he's trying to do, and then border bottom. I don't need that, and the background being white, so very easy to remove and then fix. So we need to then do something to this one. That's the back button, which is this one here. Class name, I think we can do rounded. Rounded should be, how do we even make it 50%? BG white. Okay, so that rounded is terrible. So how do we round to 50%? So I think one of the issue is because of the padding. No, not this one. The margin should be 0. No. Something is wrong somewhere. Okay. Wait for me first. So that looks perfect. However, this one is controlled by the padding. Should be, if padding is 0, I get this. That means the start supposed to be 1. Padding top should be 0. Padding bottom should be 0. Then padding right should be 1 or 0.2. Okay, padding end should be 1 as well. Okay, I think technically it's looking okay, but I'm not satisfied yet. I want to avoid styling it with CSS as much as possible, but that ending is not looking cool. Okay, I think it's better like this with this. So that is looking better. Let me try and throw a shadow on it. Shadow. Okay, I think that's better. Now the next thing I want to do is to create a kind of, you know, barrier. Class name, margin bottom 3. Yep. Then I think the whole thing should be in a container. We already have something like that for a class, so this one can stay like this, while this one can come here and page container. Okay, while this one can reduce a little bit of 2, then so display the ID coming from the path. Can't remember that thing that normally shows. So normally it's supposed to use the ID coming from the path. So this is not what it's supposed to be using. There's a term it's supposed to be using to pick the ID from there. This guy is not smart at all. So it's called, I'm trying to remember the name. So it's called use param. And the idea of use param is so that I can call the ID of what was submitted. So that whatever that I had put inside this one, this work order now is what will be here. So whatever work order, why do you have 7650 for everything? That's kind of strange. Is that what I sent? So let me see what is here. So whatever is here, for example, is what is going to show. 9999 is what is going to show here based on this code. So eventually, if you are passing the right thing, that's what will show. If you are passing the right thing here. Now another thing we need to fix is anytime we navigate, it needs to scroll to the top. It's not doing that, but that's by the way. That's by the way. If you notice, if you come here now, it's not scrolling to the top. You have to manually scroll it to the top. That's a minor fix anyway. But you have to be observant on all of these things and make sure you have a fix already for them. I've observed that, you know, just by using this for this long. So I guess that's our inner page. Very simple. You come here and then you end up at your inner page. You design your inner page. I'm going to send this to the group so that it will help you to give you a design idea of what you are looking at. Imagine you want to do this now. This will just be the detailed description of what you are supposed to do. And then there are inner, stuff. You can either implement this. This might not be implementable because the work order contains several tabs, which is more than 3. Even though we can collapse it to fall into 3, this is looking like a better approach to it, which can even give you more inner pages, by the way. So once you do this, what do you think will happen? It will take you down the rabbit hole to inner pages. So you can have more inner pages and you will still use the same method to design it. Let me take you to that app route. You will still use this same method to design more inner pages. Imagine inside a work order, let's even use assets as an example. You will be familiar with this very well because you've used the system. Imagine you want to do inside assets. You now have the assets. You now want to go and see all the jobs done for that particular asset. You need to create that route, to maintain that. Of course, you can loop and use this inner page layout scenario. This inner page layout can be used several times, right? It's just a way for you to clear the main menu. I'm sure you guys use mobile app very well. You will notice that immediately you're inside inner app, the main menu will not show again, right? Because you are doing something else. And I think that's what we have on that. So let me give you what I'm expecting next for you to work on again. So I'm expecting you to clean this up to contain the major classes. It's called work class. Look at all the list of work classes available, and the font is kind of too big and the coloring is too high. If you can work with the CSS, just ignore it for now. So I'll work on it. So ignore it. So work on the assets, display the assets, registry is the asset list, display it. This guy will give you access to the major app so that you can see how the major app look like to help you know the data to filter. Work on the work request as well. Work request is similar to work order, very similar. It's going to be like a duplicate technically. Then this is going to be your dashboard. This is going to be profile. So there's quite a lot of things to work with, and I believe that this one gives a very straightforward and easy way to do. This is supposed to take us I think we should finish this within a week or two. Week or two, this should be finished. We already have the API set up, and you should start looking at creating a profile page. This one I showed you now was done today. In terms of figuring out this one was done today for me to go and look at template to use. So you looking for template for profile page, and again, something's very simple and practical. No need for long story, right? So you can see I like this implementation as well. So once your page is becoming too long, they will just break it. I like this. Imagine if we were displaying 6 items. This would have been the best option. Your more will just take you to something else. You can design a very nice looking interface for that, but our 5 still work out well. If you check out WhatsApp has 5. So 5 is the maximum that a menu should have, right? So if you can crap in more things inside, that's why you need to have more feature like this. So mobile app uses this. They don't use that what we were doing. The reason why we're doing that one, what we're doing was because we wanted to do more than one thing at a time. Okay, so that's what we have for this. Let me look at how the web online one looks like. So this is how it looks like, very bloated. Again, I don't care. I don't care that it looks like this. All I care about is that we are launching it on a mobile application. So imagine when you finish this now, you cannot revert it to being, desktop friendly. Yeah, you can. If you want to go desktop mode now, you can now decide. But first of all, this needs to launch. I know there are a few things, like the fact that it's not scrolling to the utmost end, but I know that those things are very, very simple thing to fix. They are not too crazy. Yeah, they're not too crazy to work with. Okay, let me also commit what I've done so that you can work with this. I think all the whole changes happen at the same time.